Welcome to the Jay Tyner Show, where we discuss all things wealth management and retirement planning. And as always, the goal of our team here at Semmax Financial Group is to help you focus more on your life and less on your money. Now, as a reminder, check with your current advisor, planner, CPA, and read our disclosure in the video description below. Subscribe to this channel if you want to stay up to date on all of our new content. And by the way, if you have questions or need a 15-minute free consultation, please visit semmax.com or call 336-856-0080.
Hello and welcome. My name is Matt Landon. I'm joined by Kyle Leonard. We are both financial advisors and CFPs with Semmax Financial Group. And today we're going to talk about a topic that I think is really interesting and a lot of fun and is a foundational tool that you can help your family in a lot of ways. So today what we're going to do is talking about ways to make the stock market fun and interesting and get kids started investing on the right track. Now, Kyle, I know you've got 4 kids ranging from 11 to 1.
11 to 1. Yeah, we have 4 kids, 11, 7, 4, and 1.
So the principles that we apply here, you can take them and kind of age them up. So the conversation you're going to have with an 11-year-old, I'm assuming it's not the same thing you're going to have with a 7-year-old, right?
No, absolutely not.
So I think this ties in perfectly with our first point, which is to make it interesting. Now, when I say interesting, tie it in with something the kids are already interested in. So, for example, an 11-year-old might be interested in what?
Trading cards. So my 11-year-old likes to trade cards. One thing that he does is wanted to invest in eBay stock since that's where he wanted to trade his cards on. So for us, it was a way to really, keep his hobby going, and also for him to see kind of what the stock market's all about, knowing that he has an interest in eBay.
Absolutely. If you've got a 6 or a 7-year-old and they're really into Disney movies, well, you can invest in Disney stock. Mm-hmm. Or if you're taking a family trip on a cruise and you might say, hey, we're going on a Carnival cruise, let's invest in Carnival stock. You can watch it. But it's a position where you get the kids interested.
Absolutely.
And it's something that you have to get that engagement from them. You don't decide, let them tell you, right?
Yeah.
What's also interesting with this is sometimes they might say, well, I'm really interested in, let's go with Lay's potato chips.
Lay's potato chips,
right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about how you go to the stock market. Mm-hmm. And how do you tie that in with the supermarket? Because kids, you're taking them to the store.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about this. What are your thoughts around this?
Well, first off, I don't take my kids to the store that often because it's just super stressful.
Okay.
But when we do, going down the chip aisle for us, it was kind of an explanation to the kids that, hey, even though there's all these different brands of chips, more often than not, almost all of them are owned by Pepsi. So as they're eating a chip, it's owned by Pepsi. As they're drinking a Pepsi Cola, it's owned by Pepsi. So for us, it really was trying to explain to them, hey, even though you may not be enjoying a so-and-so called Pepsi product, it's still made by that parent company.
I think that's a great lesson that kids can learn, and it can also get into branding. There's marketing. There's a lot of different ways you can take this and kind of have that conversation. But let's say you want to get them into this. They're interested. You say, okay, we've isolated Pepsi. That's the stock we're going to go with in this instance. But I don't necessarily want to turn over thousands of dollars to my 7-year-old and let them control what's going on in the market. So there are some other things you can do. You can gamify it. There are some great apps that are out there, but why don't you talk a little bit about how that process works or what it can do?
Absolutely, yeah. So even if you want to get your kids invested in the stock market, but as you pointed out, you don't want to give them $1,000. I don't even want to give my kids $100 to play with. So let's be honest. There are definitely different websites, different apps out there where they can play with that kind of fake money, and they get to still see how compound interest works, how growth works, and how dividends work without having to really risk mom and dad's or even grandparents' real money.
I would also say show them the power of time and the compounding effect of time. So how you put that mark on the wall, and then each year on their birthday that you kind of show that new mark and you see them growing. You can do the same thing with their account. Mm-hmm. You could actually take another section of the wall and show them, okay, now you have $10. Well, now it's grown to $14. It's grown to $20. Yep. Just like how you're growing, your accounts are growing. We want to see that development. We want to see that growth.
Yeah.
Here's the key takeaway I would say with this. And I say this as the fun uncle because I have a couple nieces. They are adorable, and I'm the fun uncle, right? when it comes to the stock market, when it comes to investing, when it comes to talking about compound interest and yield and things of that nature, make it fun. You can't talk about it the same way you would talk to a 45-year-old. You got to make it fun for a 4 or 5-year-old.
Yep.
But I don't think it's ever too early to start having that financial conversation. Agreed?
Absolutely not. I think it's always important to have those conversations, have those lessons. But again, as you said, make it fun. Make it to the point where they're interested. We're not talking about how much a dividend is growing year over year, month to month. It's really about what is a dividend and how it can help you. Absolutely.
So that said, if you have some questions or you want to have a conversation with one of the advisors, we can talk to you about what a dividend is and how it works if you want to know. It might be a little bit more of a high-level conversation than you would have with a child, but at the same time, I think it's a great thing to do. It's a great place to start. I hope this has been beneficial for you. On behalf of the Semmax family, thanks for watching. We hope you have a wonderful day.